Hello, my name is Maddie Sibley, and I will be presenting on the Code of Ethics for Engineers by the National Society of Professional Engineers. Now, I am a little sick, my voice is a little shaky. I hope that does not get in the way of my presentation, just a heads up. So, what is a professional engineer? This is an engineer who not only got their undergraduate degree, but went through 4 years of working under another professional engineer and took 2 rigorous exams in order to become a professional engineer. This is a licensed engineer who is an expert in their specific field. The National Society of Professional Engineers was developed a little over 100 years ago in order to uphold engineers to the highest standards of integrity and honesty for the safety, health, and welfare of the public. And nowadays, in order for engineers to do certain jobs, it is legally required that they have their license. Now, what is the Code of Ethics? This is a code that professional engineers must follow. They could face serious repercussions if they don't. For example, they could get their license revoked and even face some serious jail time if they do not follow this code. Now, I will not be presenting on the entire Code of Ethics today. I will be presenting on a very small subsection of the Code of Ethics. Now, there's a subsection called Rules of Practice and an even smaller subsection that says engineers shall perform services only in their area of competence. So what this means is a software engineer does not do the job a civil engineer does, and vice versa. And I will go into more detail in a moment. So, an engineer cannot undertake an assignment that they are not qualified in by either education or experience. So, like I said before, a software engineer who has never worked as a civil engineer before cannot take on the assignment of develop and building a bridge. That is something a civil engineer must do. Now, in order to further my point, take a heart surgeon and a brain surgeon, for example. 2 very competent surgeons in their own fields. You would not want a brain surgeon performing open heart surgery on you. This could potentially be very dangerous, and that is why you want engineers to stay in their own fields of expertise, because it could be dangerous for the public. Now, engineers cannot sign off on any documents that they are not qualified in. So, like I said before, software engineer cannot go design and develop plans to build a bridge and sign off on it. That must be something that a civil engineer does and signs off on. And a professional engineer cannot sign off on any documents that were not developed directly under their control. So, for example, a civil engineer cannot send off an intern who has no experience to develop plans to build a bridge and just sign off on these plans. They must have these plans developed directly under their direction and control. They must be very involved in the development of these plans. Now, an engineer can take on a large project and sign off on the plans for this entire project. However, each technical segment of the project must be signed off on by the appropriate engineer. So let's say there's a large project that requires chemical, electrical, mechanical, civil, chemical, I might have already said chemical, engineers. So the chemical aspect of the project must be signed off on by a chemical engineer and not by the head engineer if that is not their area of expertise. So they can sign off on the whole project, but each subsection must be signed off on by the appropriate engineer. Now, if you would like to learn more about professional engineers, the National Society of Professional Engineers, or would like to learn more about the Code of Ethics, please visit nspe.org. Thank you so much for your time.